musicians. I didn't really feel like the German musicians were given much of a chance to really, or really a fair playing field. But that was the research, and that's how it was done. So, also in 2006, there was some research done by Nijos, Nosch, and Federici, where it was a group of professional and non-professional musicians that were given examples of music with phrase endings and music without phrase endings. So there were some examples that were broken into two phrases, and there were some examples that it was just one long line of music. And the results of this didn't vary too much, but of course the professional musicians had a little bit of an edge. And what they based the professional and non-professional musicians on were the criteria of, with the professional musicians, they have been exposed to music training nonstop since the age of 9, average wise, and that non-musicians had not seen or really listened to music or done what they did in music for more than 2 years. And again, like earlier, it kind of represents what we deal with in the real world. And so this one really showcased what the main problem is when it comes to us as orchestra teachers trying to show how the music is the way it is. And the last piece of research that I found was done in 2009, and it wasn't really done with any control groups. There wasn't any experiments, but basically it was them dissecting and analyzing the different trends that were popular, or the different melodic trends that were done within the music of Palestrina. And really what I tended to find was really the main goal of this article was just that, to find what Palestrina really did melodically over and over and over again within his music. It may have been in a different key, but the trends were the same. You knew that it was Palestrina. You knew that that was the music of this Renaissance composer. Now, after reading all of this research, I tried to think of strategies that would really help the orchestra teacher that's dealing with these problems to really help their students grasp the concept of phrase structure. And what I found to be really helpful was simply two things. One, you just really need to get your students familiar with the music. Having them simply listen to it once at the beginning of the school year so they know what it sounds like isn't going to cut it. It just doesn't work. Even now, while I'm still in college, playing in the college orchestra, we are really told to listen to the piece over and over and over again so we can hear how our part fits within the whole work. Where do the violins come in, or where do they fit within our line? And that's what listening to the music again and again helps to really help get your students comfortable with the music so they feel it and they know who comes in, or if someone doesn't come in right, they know because they've been listening to the music constantly. They haven't stopped. There wasn't a break, or it just wasn't simply done once. And the other strategy that I found to be extremely helpful in getting your students to really understand phrase structure is simply play games. Have them have little activities, like if they hear what they think is a phrase ending, raise their hand. Just simply shoot it up. Have them understand what they're listening to, because if they can't engage in the music they're not going to get anything out of it. So really what you want them to do is to really engage the music, listen to it with an active ear to really understand how the music works. And it's as simple as that. There's nothing more valuable than our ears. Our eyes can only do so much when we're sitting there looking at black notes on a page. All the notes do is they tell us how to play the notes on the page. They don't really tell us how the line is phrased. What's really going to help your students understand the way the line is phrased is to not only look at the notes on the page, but also to really look at the dynamics. What are the dynamics doing? Are they going higher? Are they going lower? Do they get louder or softer? And that's what you really want your students to grasp. So if you want that success within your group, it's just a matter of really constantly having them listen to the music, not just once, many times. Even tell them if they need to go home and listen to it over and over and over again. Help them find free sites. Do anything. But they just need to really familiarize themselves with the music. And then play games. Do fun stuff. Music is fun. Music is something we do because we love it. And so finding ways to make it enjoyable for them will also make it enjoyable for you. So really, in conclusion, phrase structure is something that really should be put to the forefront of the learning process when it comes to learning new music. It's something that's so invaluable and important and just much needed. And I know even now, still as a graduate student, I'm still learning how phrasing works. And I know once I understand how it works, I can play the line how it's supposed to be played rather than just playing what's on the page. And I know that it's something that's just invaluable. It's something that you can't take away. So I hope that you get something out of this presentation, and I hope you are able to use it in your own classroom. So have a good evening, and this is Kelly Houston signing out.